Okay, so it turns out the free version of the software only lasts for 10 minutes. So here is the Presidency of Thomas Jefferson Part 2. All right, so we just talked about impeachment. You just watched the video, and now we're going to talk about the Embargo Act. This was passed in late 1807. The French and British were at war and began seizing U.S. merchant ships, and they're kidnapping Americans. So Jefferson did not want to go to war over this. So he helped pass the Embargo Act, which is basically it's economic warfare, and it banned all trade with foreign countries. Now, this really hurt France and Britain, but it really hurt the Americans because they lost a bunch of markets that they could sell to. So this led to a depression and a lot of bad times. And an economic depression means that the economy is losing jobs and losing value, and people are going out of work. And as soon as one person goes out of work, then that triggers another person. It's kind of like a chain reaction until a lot of people are out of work. Okay, I've got a video on the Embargo Act, so click on that and come back here when you're done. All right, the Non-Intercourse Act of 1809. So the Embargo Act ends up starting a depression, and Jefferson's like, well, wait a minute, we've got to do something. I think this is President Madison. But this act had only banned trade with France and Britain. So say you could trade with anybody else, you could trade with Canada or Spain or whoever you wanted to. The thing about this is that it didn't work. So France and England were the two biggest trading partners and accounted for most of the trade that the United States did. And the economy was still in very bad shape after this. And this is one of the causes of the War of 1812. So Jefferson was able to push off getting into a shooting war with Britain. And by the time 1812 rolls around, Madison gets into a war with the British, and it's called the War of 1812, or sometimes called the Second American Revolutionary War. Okay, here's a video on the Non-Intercourse Act. Welcome back. This is the election of 1808. So Jefferson, just like Washington, chose to retire after a second term. So the candidates were Pinckney, who was a Federalist, Madison, and Clinton, who were Democratic Republicans. Madison was elected president with 122 votes. Madison was Jefferson's buddy from Virginia, and Madison wrote the Virginia Bill of Rights, which was the template for the U.S. Bill of Rights that was eventually the first 10 amendments that were adopted by the Constitution. Okay, here it is. Madison got 70% of the votes, and he got 122 electoral votes. And basically, the Federalists are just up here in New England. You can see the rest of the country is pretty much turned to the Democratic Republicans. We are going to see the Federalists grow less and less important as we go along. Oh, and we have a video for the election of 1808. So go ahead and watch that. Finally, Jefferson's death. He died on July 4th, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Funny note of coincidence, but he died on the exact same day that John Adams died. So John Adams died on July 24th, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Now, they didn't like each other much when they were younger, like when they were serving as president and vice president, but they became friends later in life. He's buried on his Monticello estate in Charlottesville, Virginia, and his memorial is in Washington, D.C. So this is the Jefferson Memorial right here. And that's all, folks. We're going to leave the essential questions for some other time.